You're listening to a production of the National Media Archive. To learn more or volunteer, go to nationalmediaarchive.com.
Have you ever felt crushed by endless projects or watched deadlines zoom by while you scramble to finish? Trust me, you're not alone. Modern life is a constant juggling act. But here's the kicker. If you don't manage your time manages you. That's not just a catchy phrase, it's the reality for most of us. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was sinking under a mountain of assignments, feeling like I'd never catch up. Sound familiar? That's when I learned about Parkinson's Law, which says work expands to fill the time you give it. Imagine your to-do list as a gas if you let it. It'll take up the whole room. So, the first step to reclaiming your time is understanding that you have to actively shape how you use each hour. Otherwise, you lose them one by one forever. Now, you might be thinking, what's so special about Parkinson's Law? Well, let's break it down. Parkinson's Law is the idea that if you have a week to finish a project, it'll take a week. But if you only have 3 hours, you'll find a way to get it done in 3. This is classic cognitive bias where brains trick us into stretching tasks as far as possible. It's a bit like pouring water into different shaped containers. It always fills the space. So what's the conflict? We think more time means better work, but often it just means more procrastination and stress. The resolution? We need a system that puts meaningful constraints on our workflow, a ticking clock that keeps us honest and motivated. Enter the Pomodoro Technique time management method that slices your work into digestible chunks. Sounds simple, right? But there's science behind it. Created by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s, this system uses 25-minute work intervals called pomodoros, named after the Italian word for tomato, thanks to Cirillo's tomato-shaped kitchen timer. The technical term here is time boxing, setting a fixed unit of time for a task. This, paired with interval training, a technique borrowed from athletics, keeps your mind fresh and focused. Imagine you're sprinting in short bursts instead of running an endless marathon. That's what Pomodoros do for your brain. The result? You maintain laser focus, minimize interruptions, and actually look forward to those mini breaks. It's a win-win. Why 25 minutes? Why not 10 or an hour? Let's dig into the psychology. Our brains have a limited attention span, a concept known as the attention span threshold. After about 20-30 minutes, mental fatigue sets in. By working for 25 minutes, you ride the sweet spot of focus before hitting cognitive overload. Now, you might ask, can I actually get anything done in such a short time? Absolutely. When the clock's ticking, you enter a state called flow, that feeling of being in the zone. So, the timer isn't just a countdown, it's your permission slip to work with intensity and then rest guilt-free. Let's get practical. Here's a simple 5-step process to master the Pomodoro technique. First, identify the task you want to tackle and decide how many Pomodoros you'll dedicate to it. This is called task segmentation, breaking complex projects into bite-sized pieces. Second, set your timer for 25 minutes. Any timer works, a kitchen timer, your phone, or a Pomodoro app. That's your decision anchor. Third, work only on that task until the timer rings. Ignore all distractions. Don't let emails, texts, or even sudden ideas pull you away. Fourth, when the timer sounds, take a 5-minute break, a micro break. After 4 Pomodoros, treat yourself to a longer 20-30 minute rest. This cycle is the backbone of sustainable productivity. Distractions are productivity's kryptonite, but during a Pomodoro, you need zero tolerance for interruptions. Here's the deal. Cirillo's rule is clear a Pomodoro can't be split. If you get interrupted, either the other activity waits, or the Pomodoro is abandoned and restarted. Think of your Pomodoro as a fortress. Each time you let in a notification invader or answer a call, you're tearing down your walls. Now, you might be thinking, but what if it's urgent? If it's truly urgent, deal with it. Otherwise, jot it down and get back to work. This discipline, what psychologists call cognitive gating, is what separates effective time managers from the constantly frazzled. Let's talk about breaks, yes, those 5 precious minutes between Pomodoros. You might be tempted to skip them, but that's a huge mistake. Breaks serve 2 key functions, neural consolidation and energy renewal. In plain language, your brain needs time to absorb what you've just learned or worked on. Ever notice how a muscle needs rest between sets? Your mind works the same way. Push too hard, and your performance tanks. During breaks, do something rejuvenating stretch. Grab a snack, step outside for fresh air. Just don't stay glued to your screen. Remember, breaks aren't optional. They're the secret weapon in keeping your focus sharp and your brain happy. Now, let's address the number one mistake people make with the Pomodoro Technique skipping breaks or multitasking during work intervals. You might say, but I'm on a roll, why stop? Here's the paradox. Pushing through without pausing leads to diminishing returns and mental burnout. Another slip up? Treating Pomodoros as flexible answering messages, checking social media, or jumping between tasks. If you break the single task focus, you lose the benefits of deep work, a term coined by Cal Newport for periods of undistracted concentration. So, protect your Pomodoros fiercely, don't dilute their power with distractions or by skipping your well-earned breaks. Let's talk results. What can you actually expect from using the Pomodoro technique? First, you'll stop multitasking. That means more attention on each project and less mental clutter, a concept called cognitive load reduction. Second, your sense of urgency skyrockets. The ticking timer creates a feedback loop that keeps you moving forward, not stalling. Third, you'll avoid perfectionism. With only 25 minutes, there's no time to endlessly tweak, just get it done and move on. Finally, you'll build stronger willpower and concentration and feel less stress. One focused task at a time, one productive day after another. Ready to give it a shot? Here's how to start right now. First, pick a task you've been avoiding. Set a timer for 25 minutes. No fancy tech needed. Work on that task with total focus. When the timer rings, stop even if you're mid-sentence. Take a 5-minute break. Then start again. After 4 rounds, treat yourself to a longer break. Track your progress and celebrate your wins. This is called positive reinforcement. So let me ask you, would you rather drift from project to project or lock in on tasks and get results? The choice is yours. Leave a comment with your answer and let's build a more productive future together.